All right, guys. Charles Jernigan back with the Sports Allegiances podcast. Once again, we have Alex Muncy, Aaron McFessel, and Stephen Guerin joining us. NFC Wild Card weekend, guys. Let's get a recap on that as well as some predictions for the divisional round. For me personally, we'll talk about Seattle and Dallas if you guys don't mind first. What Brian Schottenheimer has been getting this offense back to the Pete Carroll style offense. Great run, hit you in your mouth. But something that a coordinator, offensive or defensive, needs to know and do is they have got to adjust and succumb. So if Chris Carson runs it 10 times and he gets 4 yards, you should probably stop running the ball. I'm not saying those are the exact stats, people, but I am saying that's kind of how the game was. Russell Wilson, oh, well, okay, it's nearing halftime. Let's give him a deep throw. Let's throw a deep play at him. A deep play call. Oh, what do you know completed for 40 yards? You have Russell Wilson, Brian Schottenheimer. I don't think the Cowboys did anything special. I think they did a tremendous job stopping the run. Congratulations. We knew who they were, and they stood up to that. It was more to me because I know my team what the Seahawks did not do, and we got out coached and we got out play called. You have Russell Wilson, and when the running game doesn't work, you let that man go. That's why he should have been MVP last year. That's my takeaway from that game. Congratulations, Dallas.
You know,
Waste.
you, as salty as you are, you're dead right. I mean, the Cowboys didn't do anything spectacular in this game. They had, modest numbers offensively. Ezekiel Elliott had a great performance, I should say. But you said it. We know who their defense is. That's a legit defense, capable of stopping the run. I mean, yeah, you were right. Carson had 13 carries for 20 yards, and Penny had 4 carries for 29 yards. And that's as effective as you're going to be against a team like this. My biggest takeaway from this game, other than Prescott average, 226, 1 touchdown, 1 interception, is that the Cowboys are undefeated this season, postseason and regular season, when Zeke gets more than 20 carries a game. What more needs to be said? That's the recipe right there. Zeke, 26 carries, 137 yards. Again, 20 or more carries, they're going to win the game.
Go ahead, Alex.
I think when it comes to Seattle versus Dallas, I think everyone should have picked Seattle. I think Seattle let everyone down because of their coaching. When it comes down, their players didn't lose that. And I know I'm high on coaching right now, but in the NFL, that's what it comes down to. Yes, players make plays, but coaches in today's NFL is setting the players up for that. And the Seattle Seahawks coaches let their players down because the players listened. They did what they were told. I don't know. It was very sad for the way Seattle went out.
I think I thought Seattle had enough poor play calling, in 2014. Like, I thought that was going to be it for poor decision making for the Seattle Seahawks. But no, what do you think, Steven?
This is probably I'm gonna get Charles even more fired up. The better NFL football team won. I think the Cowboys are a better football team than the Seattle Seahawks. You look at defense, I think the Cowboys defense is much better, much more well-rounded than Seattle's right now. I mean, if you look at like individual players, of course, I think Seattle has better individual players at very important positions. But I mean, right now, like, is there a better running back than Ezekiel Elliott right now in the league? I don't know. Maybe Saquon Barkley if he was playing on a good team. I mean, right now, like, Amari Cooper is playing out of his mind.
Oh my gosh!
And justifying that trade for a first round pick. So I mean, he's completely turned that franchise around and with a midseason acquisition. So yeah, I'm not terribly surprised about this, right? Like, everyone knows who Dallas is on offense, right? You feed the ball to Zeke, you let him do what he does, and Dak manages the game. and he makes a couple big throws, and that's how they win. That's been their formula all season long. That's how they played in the playoffs at home. They're a very good home team. So I'm not surprised. I'm really not. I think Seattle has some deficiencies when it comes to offensive line. I think they still struggle in that department. I think their running game, they're kind of a one-trick pony, and Dallas shut them down, and the better team won. So those are my thoughts on that game.
I think the biggest Achilles heel for Dallas in the past has been a bit of an identity issue as far as who they are offensively. Mm-hmm. And they're starting to figure it out, as much as it displeases me, because Dallas is not a team I can get behind right now. They're a fan base I can't really get behind right now. But they're starting to realize that Dak Prescott is not a gunslinger. He is a middle-of-the-road game manager. Mm-hmm. And Zeke is your offense. Dak's not going to lose you the games when you're not asking him to do too much, and that's what's going to take for them to get even further into this tournament.
Yep. Move on to Philly and Chicago, right? Go ahead, Charles.
Yeah. All right. Cool. I obviously picked the Bears. Philly's defense showed up, man. Can we talk about that for a minute? I'm waiting for the decline of Philly, kind of like I am with Andrew Luck, kind of like I am with Dallas. I'm waiting for all these teams to decline, and Philly was one of them. And they just, man, punch for punch, and you could argue, oh, well, it was all because of the field goal. But I've told Alex this multiple times. I believe I've told Steven it a few times. I will never let a ref or one play decide who wins what game or who should have won which game.
Yes.
I don't believe that, because if you were the better team, then you won anyway. As Steve said with the Seahawks and Cowboys. I mean, that's exactly what happened. Congrats to the Eagles. Lay off Cody Parkey.
Yes.
Yeah. I mean, I don't.
The ball was tipped.
I don't have much.
The ball was tipped.
It was tipped.
And not to cut you off, Charles, but
no, go for it.
When it comes, I am so, and I'm going to use this word, I am pissed at the Bears coaching. Again, with the coaching. There's 33 seconds left, and they used their last timeout on 1st and 10 in field goal range. What is that? Go up there, spike the ball, calm everything down. Don't waste your last timeout, and you gain, I think they only gained 4 or 5 more yards.
Yeah.
Yeah, they didn't do much after that.
And it was still a manageable field goal from 4 or 5 yards back.
33 seconds to lifetime first down. That's 3 snaps.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying. Go up there, spike the ball, get a play where you can fire at the end zone. In the game that way. Don't trust your kicker to wear go down there. Be aggressive like you were the whole game.
And if you don't complete them, then your kicker, hey, it's on him. Exactly. So either way, the outcome's the same. I completely agree with you. Yeah.
Exactly. And like you said, lay off the kicker. It was tipped. It wasn't his fault. It was good. He made the first one. Whatever. That's sports. But coaching, that irritated me. I was so angry.
This game, I don't think there was anybody hotter on the Chicago Bears than me going into the playoffs. I loved this team. I loved what this team did from week 1 to week 17. As the game was progressing, I really felt myself pulling for the Eagles. I picked the Bears to win this game, and I picked them to win it convincingly. I didn't think the 6th seed in the NFC mattered this year, and I'll eat my words, and I'm happy to eat my words right now. But the Bears deserved better than this. Their players deserved better than this after the season they had. And it's unfortunate to put the game into a kicker's hand like that, especially knowing that he's going to get iced. That was so
regardless if he gets
foreseeable.
Iced.
Yeah.
Steve.
Yeah, I think, with the NFC, it was kind of weird, right? Like, it wasn't the same as the AFC in terms of, like, quarterback play and stuff like that. It's been a little bit more random. really when it comes down to it, I mean, Mitchell Trubisky just doesn't seem like he's the guy.
Yeah.
I mean, I think he's a good young quarterback. I think they kind of caught fire with Nagy as the head coach, and I think he had some innovative play calling. But I think when it comes down to it, I just think there's some deficiencies with Mitchell Trubisky. I mean, he's a sub 70% completion percentage in the league. He was never very accurate at North Carolina. He was known for throwing the ball deep and hitting big plays. So I just think that you could kind of see that deficiency. Philly kind of took some things away, scheme-wise, the way they played on defense, that really kind of shut down, the Bears' big play offense, right? It was always kind of like Tariq Cohen always kind of busted the big play. And, it just seems like they always kind of relied on that big play. Philly kind of stifled them that way. So I think all around, I think it was an interesting game. I think, like Charles said, you shouldn't let the game come down to a field goal no matter what, right? Like, I know it happens, and I know sometimes you got to win the games like that, but I think Chicago had multiple chances to win this game, and they just kind of let Philly hang around, and guess what? Philly's got the experience. They won the Super Bowl last year. They're battle tested. They know how to win on the road, and they showed it. So let's go into our predictions for this week. We got Dallas traveling to LA to play the Rams. The Rams are 7-point favorites in that game with an over-under of 49.5. That's actually pretty high. And then you have Philly going to New Orleans. The over-under in that game 50.5, with New Orleans being 8-point favorites. So they are by far the biggest favored home team currently in the divisional round at 8. So Charles, go ahead with your prediction.
All right. So Dallas. I would have picked whoever played the Rams in this game, for the record. So last weekend aside. So I'm going to go with Dallas 2013. Mm-hmm. I don't like the Rams in my division. I also don't think they are who they think they are. I think Jared Goff's overrated. That team runs and is powered by Todd Gurley, and if he doesn't have over 150 yards all-purpose, then, kind of sayonara, and I've seen what they did to who I consider a dominant running back in Chris Carson. Not saying at all he's, top 3, but I would consider him dominant. 2013 Dallas.
I think this one's going to be a bit of a laugher. In all honesty, I think the Rams are going to win it 35-10, and I feel like I'm being generous to the Cowboys in this instance because I think the Rams can score more than that. I'm just giving that Cowboys defense a little more respect in the fact that they are great at the linebacking position. But the Rams offense, I think, is going to be too potent in this game. The Cowboys' only shot is taking advantage of a feeble rushing defense in the Rams. But I think it's going to be offensive overload.
I have Dallas winning 36-30, and kind of in agreement with Charles. You took away Todd Gurley, and you pressure Jared Goff. What do they have? I mean, if you can get to Jared Goff, you're going to make him uncomfortable. That's when he starts making the mistakes. Todd Gurley, I don't think Todd Gurley breaks 50 yards this game.
Wow.
That's my guess.
All purpose.
All purpose.
Whoa.
I think they take, because like you said, everyone knows who the Rams are, and playoff football is different. And I think the score 36-30 might be a little high. That's just regular season scoring. But I still think Dallas wins by 6 because I think the way they played against Seattle, they're the real deal.
Do you guys trust Dak Prescott more than you trust Jared Goff?
Yes.
When the defenses run the game, yes.
Yes. Okay. Absolutely.
I don't like.
I will disagree with you.
Jared
Goff,
I understand. 30 touchdowns this year.
Yeah.
Who is he? He's not a Pro Bowl player. He's a ways from California. Go play baseball.
I mean, in this scenario, I have the Rams. I'm with Aaron on this. This game's, they're done. The Cowboys are done. The Cinderella story's over. The clock's striking midnight. I mean, I have it right now. Rams 34, Cowboys 13, and I think like Aaron said, that might be a little generous. I mean, I think the Rams might put up 40 in this game. I think this is just going to be an absolute utter domination. The Coliseum is going to be rocking. That place is going to be a madhouse. I just don't think the Cowboys have what it takes. I think Aaron Donald has a huge game. Huge. I'm talking 3 sacks on Dak Prescott. Made probably a strip sack at one point. I just think this game is just not even close. The Rams outclassed the Cowboys by so much it's not even funny. So I think when going in my second prediction with the Saints and the Eagles, same thing. Saints 45, Eagles 17. This game isn't even going to be close either. Yeah. They dominated them in New Orleans earlier in the regular season. I think it's going to be a repeat. I think Nick Foles, again, clock striking midnight, Cinderella. It's over. The Eagles' run's done. And you're going to see the class of the NFC, the Rams and the Saints, all year be in the NFC Championship game. Yep. I'm out.
I'm in. I'm with you 100%. I'm going to get mine over with because I want to pass it over to these two. Saints 44, Eagles 3.
Jeez.
Oh, my goodness.
Snap.
Wow. Holy cow.
It's
so I have the Saints winning also. I do 37-18. But they are the Eagles. They're the defending Super Bowl champs. And like I said in the last episode, Nick Foles, he's the one that got them there last year. Will he do it again this year? Huge possibility. And I'm not 100% sold on the Saints against Philadelphia, so that's why I'm not like betting my hair or anything like that. But
because why would anybody do that?
Yeah, no kidding. But
video, guys.
Yes, but it's the Saints. Everyone knows who they are. They're a high-powered offense. They even got defense, so that's why I had picked them 37-18.
All right. Well, I guess it's me. 33-23, and you guys aren't gonna like this. Just joke. No, the Saints. They're gonna come marching into their home field, and they're gonna go marching out, looking to play that next week. Yep. So it's a better team, better quarterback. I said it with Phillip Rivers. It means more. You know, Nick Foles. He's ready to retire. He was at the start of the season. So
Drew Brees for MVP. Yeah. Did I say that out loud?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
I'm on board with that. I'd be fine with that.
I'd be fine with that, but I'm not delusional. We all know who it's going to.
Yeah.
All right, guys. Any last words from any of you guys?
No, I'm good.
All right, guys. I think that was some good content there, and I'll be anxious to see. All right, guys out there in TV land, please like, comment, subscribe on Instagram, Twitter, YouTube, obviously. Watch our videos. For Aaron McFessel, Alex Muncy, and Stephen Guerin, I'm Charles Jernigan signing off. Thank you, guys.